Hey.
Hey, we live, baby.
So, I'm just going to get right to it. Let's do it. This might be going nowhere. Yes. It's been such a long time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, we are back. Episode 13 of the pod. This episode's name is Going Nowhere. Perspective. The podcast. I think that this episode it has a lot to do with perspectives on how you look at everything. And shout out to Ballin' Like 2K. Shout out to Miss Pursley for blessing that track.
Shout out to Matt and Mine for mixing that shit so beautiful.
Fire, man, I made you the best engineer in the city ever of all time. No, I'm joking. You're amazing. You're amazing, bro. And I can never repay you back for what you did for me.
Guys. And humble.
Yeah, of course, humble. But no, seriously, thank you, everyone. It has been a long time away, but we are back, and we are back. And how appropriate that this episode was recorded on the beginning of the NBA season, and Ballin' Like 2K is on.
Hot lava.
Yes, pure coincidence, I assure you. But we got a lot to talk about. Where can we start? Well, I know where I'd like to start.
At the beginning.
I guess we can mix it up and start at the beginning this time. But I do, on a little bit more of a somber note, I want to say our prayers and our condolences. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a shooting in Fort Worth, Texas. And again, another black person was shot and killed. This time through the window of her own home by two police officers while playing video games with her nephew at 2:30 in the morning.
An unannounced police officer.
And when I first said her name, I said it with so much confidence, but I don't want to say it wrong. But I do believe it is a Tatiana K. Jefferson, but Miss Jefferson was killed for no reason. Her neighbor actually had called and said that the front and the side door appeared to be open, and it was 10 o'clock at night, and it wasn't like them, so he was just doing a wellness check. Not a wellness check. I don't want to use that, because a wellness check is like when you're coming from children or an older person. But this is just a check just to make sure everything was okay at the home. You've seen the officer's body cam. Shout out to President Obama for making sure that during his presidency we were able to have this, because we know exactly what takes place before we even had anything like this. But you could see him knocking. They never identified themselves as police officers with a flashlight. He asked her to put her hands up when she looked through her own window, and then he shot her and killed her instantly in her home with her mother there and her nephew.
What the fuck was that?
And I think it's just one of those things where it's like, what are we doing? Right now, they've hid him. He's on administrative leave, so he's still being paid right now.
It's ridiculous.
And and it's like you almost feel like, yo, it happens so much, we become numb to it. But fuck that.
I'm definitely not numb to it. I'm just so furious at this point, just to be like, I have so much passion. I'm just like, I'm tempted to fly down there just so I can help with the rallies and shit. Like, I'm tired. It's to the point where now it's okay for you to tell us to put our hands up outside of our homes and shoot us through windows, through motherfucking drapes. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Eat a dick about a body cam. So I get to see us being murdered on film now, and there's still, where's the fucking change? Where's the level of accountability? It literally takes levels of ridiculous action before any action gets done. And even then, it doesn't even feel like justice when we know that Lil Tay got locked up for longer for less.
Yeah, we were just talking about...
And ain't nobody hand him no Bible and give him no hug. Ain't nobody give my brother no hug before he went to jail. The judge didn't hug him and hand him no Bible.
Clearly the system
just saying.
is just in shambles, but... The thing
Shambles. No, the system is set up exactly the way they have that shit set the fuck up.
Okay. But
and it is set up to be able to oppress a certain people the way that it's been designed from the fucking get-go. And it's operating great. And that's why they have no motherfucking reform. Because it's doing exactly what the fuck it is that they want it to do.
That's true.
Monster kill.
Again, I just want to say a prayer for her family. I admire the fact that a lot of the community came together and they didn't have any officers there and they weren't needed. It was no violence. It was nothing. It was a peaceful protest. They came out. They brought flowers, food, money for the family. They were armed.
I definitely send my condolences and prayers and love to the family and loved ones of everyone, the neighbors, her nephew. I mean, just
in other news,
unacceptable.
LeBron's media backlash in regards to the Chinese Hong Kong conflict that we have right now. Just a quick recap into what's going on with this. So China was gifted back Hong Kong, which is an island off of China, off the coast of China, from Great Britain during the Opium Wars. And after it was over, Great Britain had expanded it, made it look nice. So they said, hey, we'll lease it for 99 years. I imagine they asked for 100 and China was like, no, 99. So after 99 years, they returned back an entire group of people in an area.
Say what?
But the problem with this is, as like most times white people come into an area and take some shit.
Does that not sound so ridiculous in and of itself? The statement, and they returned the island and the people. They gifted back the people.
But the problem was, again, which happens a lot with our people in Africa when they come over there, and the reason why we have genocide is because they come in and a certain way of westernized society and culture and government is forced upon the people who live there. Not even if it's not at gunpoint, it's like you're accessing benefits to things that you may have had in the country beforehand. You now need to know the ways that they see fit for you to be able to get those resources. So you do this, and then you give the country back to people, and they completely are living in a different way. So in China, we have communism, which basically is like the government owning everything. Now, there are some...
They're like internet's really restricted there.
There are a lot of pros. I mean, there are a lot of cons, but there are also pros with having a communist government. Now, saying that in America almost is like, yeah. And no, what it means is, and it just, again, the government having control and ownership over most things is never the way that I would want a group of people to have to live under.
Because corruption is...
Yeah, you would have to have almost an idolist.
What is it? What's the absolute power corrupts absolutely?
Yeah, and if you did it in a part where the people were the government too, maybe, but I just don't like the fact that... Here's the part that I do like about it, because we always talk about, what's bad. What I do like about it is a huge problem that I have with our way of doing things, and they say we're a capitalistic society. We need to stop hiding behind democracy. We're diplomatic, but democratic...
On the surface.
Yeah, democratic means it's a whole nother show, and I'll get into that in a different topic. But what I mean by this is the problem with a capitalist society is when you have people who are in power who are keeping wealth, and there's millions and millions and millions of people, and the wealth is not being fairly distributed amongst the people. That's the bad side of it. That's the side that you don't talk about, where it's almost a cutthroat society where we idolize things instead of people, and we'll do anything for material status and money. So they both have their, they're definitely, I will be going towards the capitalist society that we live here. I'm not going to sit here and be like, there's nothing wrong with the the frame of communism is fucked up. But anyway, so Hong Kong is been kind of like a democratic community, and it's so bad to the point where they, even though they're not allowed to have their own army, China has to have it. They have separate yen. You need separate passports. We have the Yao, and you have the Yang, and then you have, which is the China dollar, and then you have the Hong Kong dollar, which is self-explanatory. But they don't fuck with each other.
I don't fuck with you.
But China will not let Hong Kong represent themselves in the United Nations. It's just a whole bunch. So anyway,
They're only allowed to represent themselves in like agricultural.
Yeah, shit that's like, oh yeah, we'll let you can be single when it doesn't count. But anytime, if you want to go out with your girls and go to the bar, you're allowed to be single at Applebee's. But outside of that, I'm on FaceTime 24/7. There'll be no turning me off. But it's I can understand why people who have been accustomed to living a European lifestyle to have to go back to that when they're finding success. And then you think about it from the aspect that who is America going to side with? Hong Kong. Who is Great Britain going to side with? Hong Kong. It's very, very advantageous from a business standpoint. It's the money getter. And Hong Kong, as small as it is, I think it's 6 million people. They're the 35th wealthiest nation in the world because business is very good over there because they have connections, of course, to China.
Are they gonna side with Hong Kong though?
Oh yeah. That's why Daryl Morey, owner of executive of the Houston Rockets, is going to say we stand with Hong Kong because Hong Kong wants free trade. It's advantageous for business deals to get done in Hong Kong versus having to deal with China. They're also more heavily taxed if you're dealing with China, which is understandable because the Chinese government is going to need a bigger cut. They have 1 billion people. They have as much as the rest of the world combined, damn near. So, aside from India. But, yeah, I just think that LeBron, he did kind of misspeak. I'm not going to sit here and hold no. He misspoke.
Where was he when he spoke?
He was home. He was back home.
Okay, he wasn't in China.
No. When he came back home, he came back home when he spoke. I'll have to look that up. I gotta I need confirmation.
I could have swore he was in China when he made the comment. So to me, it's like
okay. Well, if he was okay, all right. Which that and I know y'all in the back is like, well, who the fuck's voice is that? That is D-Watt. He is joining the show. We're gonna be talking sports, but he's here, and I think that if y'all are gonna hear his voice, y'all should know who it is back there.
Shouts out to D-Watt for being in.
Yes, round of applause for D-Watt, our special guest. Thank you, audience. Thank you. But all right, but yes, I think that this is important because we're getting to see you got your safety of the players and their families and people who are with them. And then you also have the business deals that everyone's eating off of. And China's a huge market. And then you have this owner saying this, and now you have China who is wanting, Daryl Morey to be fired. And people are upset with LeBron. But here's my thing. And I know we're from Akron, so this is going to sound biased. Y'all need to get off Bron's dick. I'm going to be 150% with you. Even if he completely misspoke, even if he was at home in his backyard when he said that and he was for the dollars on this occasion, I'm going to tell y'all there was a time when a Clippers owner was on some trash. There was a time Trayvon Martin was gunned down. There was a time when college students never thought a bill would be passed that would get them paid. LeBron's been on the right of so much shit. Black men having suits, the I Promise School, being married, being a great father, never getting in any media shit. Just being a good example of a black man in America. So I'm not going to allow him to have one misquote, or maybe he just hit the way that he worded that because of what his own thoughts were and what could be in danger. You know what I mean? You don't speak the language of these people. You don't know what they could be saying while you're there or what could end up happening or what, you know what I mean? Anything. So I feel that, but I do disagree with him. You know, I also stand where if a people want to live a certain way and a country does not, I think that Hong Kong should be independent. Not have to choose between this way or that way. I think they should be independent, and I think Great Britain would be indebted to them. They should have their own contract in which they'll be helping them with military forces and whatever else they need, free trade, low tariffs, whatever will be able to help them become a sustainable nation away from China if that's what the people of Hong Kong choose to vote to do.
Facts.
But what do you think on
On the Brown situation, I don't think he was wrong. I think we don't know. We don't know what's going on over there in Hong Kong. We just know what the Western media tells us going on over there in Hong Kong. How many people do you know that live over in Hong Kong and actually going through the stuff that's they actually telling us they're going through over there?
That's true. That's
So
true.
for Brian to come out and say some stuff like that, either somebody made him come out and say that, or he know what's going on over there because he has dealings over there since he's been in the NBA.
Right.
That was my take on the whole situation.
No, I mean I rock with that, and I think that that's important because we don't. A lot of times, I learned about this.
I think us as a Western society that we judge other countries too much.
Facts.
Like our country is not perfect at all.
At
we
all.
go through the same stuff that we say in Hong Kong and stuff. We going through the same thing back here.
Yeah, I think I think that's a valid point, and even on top of that, I think that a lot of times Americans are, and I like to bash us as much as possible because we are stupid and arrogant, but I think as a whole, a lot of times we don't think about the fact that a lot of the media that we're getting is from us, and it's a term I learned in college. I can't think of it right now.
Well, speaking of media that you get directly from us, Gina Rodriguez uploaded a video that was directly from her.
Yes.
And she,
Nigga.
was like, frontin' niggas give me heebie-jeebies.
So let me ask y'all a question. How do we feel? All right, because I was just speaking with a white dude, very cool dude, and he's like, yeah, when I'm alone, I'm listening to my music. I'm not editing myself. That's all I listen to is rap music.
When you're part of the culture, it's like you're part of the culture. But when she's
He's from
already
Cleveland.
been previously in trouble for making, racial statements, or she's been, previously in trouble and linked to being biased or, whatever. So that really just was a bad look for her.
Okay.
Then the half-hearted apology that, if I offended anyone, if blah, 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 blah. If I offended
now that's
you
bullshit.
by singing a song
I
that
hate
I've
when
loved
they
my
say
entire
that
life,
shit.
then, I apologize for if blah, 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 blah.
I hate
now, the
it.
second, more thought-filled apology was what she should have went with first. I just have to say that about that for those. I do have to say, though, I don't know, go with the apology. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I just feel like we need to move forward. We're in such everybody is so extra sensitive. And I'm not saying that I like that she said it because I don't. I'm just saying that we have to be very careful now because we live in such a, cancel culture. Everybody's just so extremely sensitive. And
let me ask you a question. Do you feel like there was an incident where Kendrick Lamar pulled somebody on stage, a girl, and she was rapping his song with him, and she didn't blurt out the word nigga when she said it, and he was upset about that, and I think, had her get off stage and so forth and so on. Do you feel like the entertainer should be aware that the fan may be saying the word for word, or do you think it's up to the white kid or white teen or white adult to know you mute that shit when it's coming up?
But what if, to me, it's what if they're so excited and they know that shit word for word, and now you're up there with Kendrick Lamar. You just want to show Kendrick Lamar that you know his rap word for word. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how it feels to be white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, that's awkward as fuck. I would think that I would be either a white person that would have been around enough black people to where I'd be like, man, nigga, please. Or I would be like a white person like Jerry Seinfeld, to where it's just like, yo, I don't fuck use the word. I don't fuck with it. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cool. Or whatever the fuck. I don't know what side of the fence I would land on if I... that's just the world of ifs.
Okay, here's my thing. I'm an artist. I'm a rapper. I will imagine I'm going to be to a point where people know my words word for word. So if I invite somebody to come on stage with me that is white, I'm going to tell you straight up, hey, yo, hey, kill this shit. But, yo, you know when you get to that nigga word, you know what time it is. Or I don't pull no white person on stage.
Exactly.
Because I can do either or at my show.
A white person that grew up around nothing but black people.
Hey, that's cool.
And that's somebody that...
That's cool. I might ask him before I even get on stage, hey, you trying to rock out? You got to say nigga? You can't say nigga. And then if, oh, no, I'm good. Now, we've just had a contract.
Right.
We have a verbal agreement now. You've taken a risk. I haven't pulled you up and put you on the spot
that's
yet.
That's your preference as an artist.
Most white people that say nigga instead is comfortable because they've been around black people and they've been saying it and they've been getting away.
But I'm talking about the people that be in the cubicles that love the songs, that ride around listening to us, and when they get home...
Like on Office Space.
Nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
And they fucking love saying, but then as soon as they get around black people, they wouldn't dare even sing the song. So I'm like, I agree with y'all. I think it's up to the artist to know who you pulling up on stage. You give a fair warning. And white people, look, hey,
I don't know, but I think
it comes with the culture.
Be better with your apologies, man. Have those more thoughts.
Speaking of apologies.
She apologized, though.
No, she needed to put that. Especially if she wasn't going to apologize, she shouldn't have put the first one out there. But because the first one was so fucked up, and she ended up in a bigger pile of shit that she was in with the first video.
You know, once they come in with that second apology, when it's really
had to make that heartfelt.
Words can just be so deep, and I never quite in all of my years thought that once they start that shit, what I've learned.
As long as you learned it, though.
Who needs to apologize is Google. I'm gonna take a few seconds just to shit on y'all. This is some quick shit.
What are you talking about? The Pixel 4? Yeah,
the Pixel 4 they copied directly off the iPhone square design on the back, which they got killed for it, which I also don't like myself. They did now Apple when they did that, they have 3 cameras.
What about hand gestures?
Hold on, we'll get to that in a second. When Apple did it with the square that I hated, they had one of the cameras is the regular wide, normal portrait style camera. The other is the telephoto, which allows you to zoom in without you losing anything necessary as well. Before it has the computer in your phone, has to make it not look fuzzy. And the third is the wide angle, which is the new one, which I feel like is pretty dope. I can't wait to have that one myself. But it's not enough for me to switch to the iPhone 11. Apple, you guys dropped the ball on 11. I'm waiting until next year. Let's be clear there. Y'all not safe neither.
Nope.
But here, Google is what I'm mad at. Why in the fuck would y'all copy off their same design to put 2 camera lenses and a flash in there? That's only 3 things.
Really, nigga?
Why have a square with 4 dots in it to put 3 things and not put the wide angle lens, which everybody else is using? That's the future of camera modes. Like, we see it. We know it's going to be the wide angle lens. We know that when you're sitting at the table and you want to put your phone up and interview somebody or sit there and do a podcast or just anything you would want to have a wide angle shot for, you're going to use that lens. They said that they thought that the telephoto lens was the phone lens that's going to matter the most to most people for when they zoom in for a better shot. Bull fucking shit. Nigga, we getting wide face selfies. We getting wide selfies now. So why would you not want a wide? I'm done with it. I'm out with it. It's terrible. The phone, it's so many things that the phone don't have that I'm just like, yo, this was a really bad idea of a Google Pixel 4, and I see why y'all leaked it, because y'all didn't do anything. Y'all just kept it the same. No 5G, no nothing. And listen, I've never had any other phone other than iPhone, so I know what y'all saying. P, why do you give a fuck? The reason why I give a fuck is because when a phone maker like Samsung does something that's really dope, then everyone else wins. When Apple does something that's really dope, everyone takes it and everybody else wins. Google, you're not doing nothing but taking niggas' money. So, whatever with that. The Baby. Shout out to The Baby. He's one of my favorite new artists. I definitely want that smoke on the song. I don't know what song it's gonna be yet, and I don't need to even use your flow. I can do your flow, but I won't need to use your flow, and we'll see what's good with that. But shout out to The Baby because he went from fighting niggas in the Louis store, killing niggas in Walmart, to he just put on this woman who was homeless, living in her car with her son. She has a hat company. Not only did he go on his Instagram and talk about her hats and shoot a commercial with her, he also bought some of her hats and helped her and gave her some additional money. So she says she's received over 4,000 orders for hats since he did that. So I just want to shout you out because that's some shit that I can respect, that I would want to do with my own fame. Like, that just changed her life forever, and she don't have to live in the car with her son no more. So that's bigger than the number one to me.
Yeah.
Now, Tekashi 6ix9ine. So we know that his driver was the one of the snitch informants that was videotaping the whole thing. A lot of people will argue that Tekashi 6ix9ine has been working for the FBI the whole time. I don't give a fuck about that right now. What I do care about, though, is they gave Shotty his 15 years. They gave a lot of other niggas even more time than that. And we're all still waiting to see Tekashi, what he's going to end up getting. I don't even care about that because I know it's not going to be nothing close to what these niggas got. And you was out here ordering hits and doing a lot of motherfucking shit like you was a boss nigga, and you flipped on and sent a lot of fathers, a lot of husbands, a lot of people away when you was very willing to take people's lives by the hands of them same people. So I don't give a fuck about none of that. Now y'all know how I feel about that. But here's how I feel about this. There's a record deal that's been reported of $10 million or so. Joe Budden said it's not real, blah, 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 blah. DY, what do you think about the record deal?
I think it's real.
Do you think that he's going to have success when he comes out from the fans? Not what the record labels can do for him. I'm saying, do you think that others... Okay, so here's my second question then, because I believe you. I'm with you too. Do you think that artists like Casanova, A Boogie and the Hoodie, Cardi B, do you think they'll ever do features with him again, or most of the artists going to shut him out?
I don't think none of the artists that was out around the time he came out gonna do no songs. I think the new artists probably do something.
Yeah, like niggas who ain't up yet.
I don't think nobody...
I like that. You know, I never even thought about that. Like, we not even thinking about the new niggas. We keep trying to think, like, what is the Uzi Verts and them, and then what is they gonna do?
I don't think nobody came up with them.
But it's gonna be the next. It's gonna be the next X, the next TK.
I think it's bullshit. I think basically what they're doing is they're trying to throw it out there. They're putting the word out to where they're trying to make it seem like.
Or they're testing the waters to see.
Falsifying the stock, like making the stock seem like somebody wants to fuck with them. It's $10 million deal on the table. So then, where it's another record company that'll come in and be like, well.
So are you thinking that another record label, like let's just say like a UMG or a Sony, they wouldn't touch him if it wasn't like without this announcement? They're not giving him nowhere near that bag for him to do music if he's able to come.
I think they're doing the announcement without any mention of what record label or whomever, just to make it so that the record companies will be interested.
Okay.
So whoever might.
But let me ask you this: without that, do you think that any company like UMG?
I think I don't know. I think companies are about their money. So if they feel like there's a market for him to be able to, and people are going to buy. Then and there's a company out there willing to take the risk to where they're like, yo, we got the capital to be able to do it. I think they're gonna do it. Should they? Hell no.
But you think that
this nigga needs to be blackballed.
It's business.
But even without the announcement, you think he would have got a nice bag anyway when he came home?
I think he's gonna get the bag. You know what? Because I see kids around in the hood that like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I just told you my sister just dyed a kid's hair the same color as his. Like, it's gonna be kids and stuff that still like this dude.
Because
he's still gonna be able to sell records. He's still gonna be able to do.
And I think I think that's disgusting. Like, yo, I want to see.
Obviously, a market snitches. There's a shit ton of them.
No. I understand all of that. It's not even about the snitching part. I'm saying it's about that, but it's not even about that. My thing was, if he would have just been a regular rapper, just a regular nigga just rapping, he was affiliated with them, he wasn't in none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? But when you out here threatening people's lives, you out here stealing on niggas, you out here, pulling guns on niggas, you ordering hits, now I can't rock with nothing that you do.
Going through what they did because they sold their soul for money. They took this boy under their wing for money.
I understand that, but I'm still.
It might last a long time, but in the end, you gonna have to meet your fucking maker.
I just ain't rocking with that nigga. Point blank period. But I want to see the circus. I'm for the circus. I want to see what happens. Speaking of circus, 2020 candidates.
That's a circus.
So I'm gonna make this quick. This is not a political show, but Donald Trump, of course, is facing impeachment inquiries right now. because he told the president of Ukraine that if they don't do an investigation into Joe Biden before the 2020 race, they weren't going to offer supplies. And then the president of Ukraine went on to say, yeah, last time we did business with you, we really did. He said, we really do need some javelins. That's what he said. He needed some javelins. And Donald Trump went on to say, yes, we have been very good to you, but we need this investigation done. So they're saying, of course, again, that's quid pro quo, using government funds, government pressure, speaking on behalf of the people and pressuring a foreign country for favors or to withhold funds or business to be done with them. It's completely illegal, which would just be like, hey, Russia saying, hey, we'll offer you some dirt on Hillary Clinton and fuck some shit up to help you get in office. But that would be illegal. Okay.
Okay, I understand this. I don't like Trump. But you got to put the same set of principles for Hillary Clinton. She did the same thing against Trump that you saying that what's your name did in the election.
Can I tell you what the difference is?
It's no difference.
Can I tell you what the difference is?
Once you start doing that, you playing favoritism.
Hold on, I'm not.
It's the same.
The difference
thing.
is Hillary Clinton is not the president. I'm only dealing with what Donald Trump got caught doing on the phone, and she didn't make it. Right or wrong, whether we felt like I felt like that she would have been a better candidate, but if that's what kept her out, so be it. He's in. He's caught. Okay, but I'm saying he's in. He got caught red-handed.
But I'm saying you
what the fuck was that?
Right-handed.
Did it against Trump. You gotta be on both aisles. If you playing a side, then you can't. I'll
have to do research. If listen, I don't have no problem. I'm not Hillary's fucking backing.
No,
if she did some fucked up shit, then fuck her too. I wanted to see Bernie back then originally get in.
Really?
And who I want to see on this ticket while we bullshitting is Michelle Obama with Oprah being the vice president. I'd like to see that.
That sounds like Oprah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. No, I'm just saying I'd like to see
They
it.
bring up so much dirt on them girls that they would.
I wouldn't care. There's nothing they've done that's worse than Donald Trump. There's no dirt that they could bring on them. Well, I'm just saying that's my gut feeling.
You think Oprah out here grabbing people by the pussy?
She grabbing out. She out here grabbing niggas by the dick. Yo.
We don't know what Oprah out there doing.
Listen, I'm not. I'm just saying I would rather them than anybody else that's on this candidate card. And the candidates between the Asian dude is offering $1,000 and the black chick who was trying to the Hispanic.
All right, let's talk. Speaking of thousands of dollars or money being offered,
I don't even know who that is.
a science teacher.
Oh yes, we do got to talk about them. We do got to talk about the science
teacher.
Um,
had a twerk contest
in his class.
Really, nigga?
I don't know.
He's been fired, but he actually was paying a couple of the girls up to $25 to perform in the twerk contest. There's video of him actually dancing on the tables while they kicking it to music. He's super lit.
Really, nigga?
You could see like one of the kids recording them on some sort of Nokia or flip phone, and but the image is still not bad enough to clearly see a teacher, a full-grown man, dancing with kids in a classroom.
Really,
and you're the
nigga?
science teacher. You're not the phys ed teacher. You're not the music teacher. You're not even if you said I was
the dance teacher.
Yeah, you're not the art instructor. There's nothing that you do that you can say yes, the left molecule and the right molecule. Now bend over, touch those toes. I need to see.
Was he dancing with the chicks? Was he dancing with the females?
He was not getting twerked on in the video because they were having
I just seen a video of a white teacher dancing with chicks and they was twerking in the video. So
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
You gotta go to standards.
And
listen,
he
was actually twerking with them in the video.
Is he a teacher?
It's not okay.
That's not okay.
It's okay for that. Now they go up on the black man.
Listen,
for that, but the same white man was doing the same.
I didn't see that story. I would have killed him just the same.
It's all over Facebook. All over Facebook.
I would have killed him just the same.
We'll add that on to the next video. But
But
if you're twerking, period, point blank, regardless of who did it where.
yeah, and it's like I see you
It's
trying
not
to.
okay. It shouldn't be done. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird as shit.
It's weird, and it again is making our young women devalue themselves even more. And it's like at some point you got to know that you are much more than whatever you have physically to offer someone. And I know that sounds corny, that sounds cliche, but if your teacher ain't giving it up to you like that, we are fucked. Okay.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So,
Random.
randoms. Hey, this is a section. I love randos, and this will be the Terminator gets okay. I don't know. This is not a new story, but if you guys have not had a chance to check this out, the Terminator gets drop kicked in the back by some fan who's there.
No. He got double-footed, flying, drop kicked to the back.
What the wrong? When you see the video of the
By
dude,
a man who needs a Lamborghini.
he's running full speed. And listen. When I tell you that when he got kicked in the back and didn't notice that he got kicked in the back,
Angles matter because on the one video it looks like he really took one, but on the other, like the full shot of it, when you see it happen, he just is like, huh? Like it wasn't as dramatic as what.
Because the one, I think the camera's facing him, so it really looks like he's lunging forward. Now this side one we're looking at right now, waiting for this masterpiece to unfold. Oh, there it goes. And then you see that nigga. Damn, that nigga. That's the nigga that lived with Arnold still. he picked him up so fast. He was like, but here's I brought that up because Arnold Schwarzenegger is in Mortal Kombat. And what I'm wondering, to be honest with y'all, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mortal Kombat. The Terminator. But it's Arnold. It's not like the metal version. It's like showing him. Like because in a jacket with the gray hair. But I'm wondering, that's not important. What I'm wondering is the reason why they put him in there.
In Mortal Kombat, guys. The Terminator is though.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's likeness.
The name says the Terminator. But continue.
I wonder did they use Arnold and put the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's version of the Terminator, not the robot, in there because of this drop kick.
You do understand that the human-looking version of the Terminator was the robot. That's what the robot was designed to be.
Yeah.
Was a human.
But could that also be skinned off of him as well? Have there also been
after
other?
He got fucked
but
up,
let me ask you.
But in his original form, he was whole. It looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I am ready for the smoke today,
it's the
y'all.
Terminator.
Can I ask you a question?
Let me
Can I
ask you a question.
though?
When you pull up the character on Mortal Kombat, what does it say?
The Terminator.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
No, there's no other.
No. There's not. You can't rest your case after you ask your one question. It doesn't work the way.
Done. It's the Terminator.
Has there been another Terminator since Arnold? More recently?
There's other Terminators. He wasn't the only one.
Yeah, right.
You can look at
but when Mortal
Kombat,
when Mortal Kombat decided to do the Terminator, they didn't get the girl.
When you
they
guys
didn't get
go to
anybody
pull up
else.
the character in Mortal Kombat,
It's
you're
Arnold.
not going to see Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're going to see the name says the Terminator.
And you want to know what's even funnier than that? They didn't even go get young
here.
Arnold. They went gray hair, old man Arnold. Like the Arnold that's in the movie right now, just to show y'all that's the real Terminator. Anyway, yes, he didn't feel that.
He's the original Terminator.
Facts. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right.
So,
or the actor that plays the Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a flying judo kick.
Okay, so also I want to talk about, we're going to get into basketball, but I want to let y'all know, I know a lot of y'all might be asking, what is my stand with the NFL? I have been on NFL boycott, have been watching the games, I boycotted the Super Bowl. None of that has changed. I still only watch games during highlights. I have been much more, or let me change that. Here's been my altar. Jay-Z is behind him now. There's been a slight altar. I'm going to tell you how little my altar is. If someone has a Facebook page of illegal streaming of the NFL and it's a game that I want to watch, I will watch it a little bit that way.
I feel like I'm equally as likely to watch a game of the NFL as I am to try those vegan cookies that Jay-Z decided to invest in. Those are equal chances of happening.
Yeah.
Every vegan cookie I've ever tried was lay dry.
You know what's dope? I've never had a vegan cookie, so thank God for that. But as far as the NFL, I'm still not fucking with them because, right? No, I mean, I don't eat vegan shit. But
no hate to the vegans.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I don't know if I love them. I won't go that far.
My cousin's a vegan.
Hey, well,
one of my best friends.
That's fine. You love certain vegans.
One of my best friends are vegan.
You sound like a white person that has black people that you know. No, listen. So seriously, what I was gonna say is Jay-Z. It looks like as far as like Monday night entertainment and the Super Bowl, they're blacking it up.
So are we saying Janet Jackson's back in the halftime show?
She could definitely come back right now if she wanted to.
Since Justin Timberlake was originally
Janet Jackson could come back right. The NFL is so thirsty, but to not because they're going to pretend like, oh, you know, our ratings really didn't take a dip and we really didn't care. Motherfucker, please. I know our power, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend. And let's be real. The NFL has been getting washed by the NBA for the last few years now. More women that I know and really appreciate basketball players many times more over than football players. Not even close. Can't even identify them when they see them. So all I can say is...
I love football players. Yeah, because they have
the helmets. I know. And the NFL sets it up to be like that. They make sure they don't don't celebrate too long, get in trouble for taking your helmet off. We're going to make sure you're not doing we want to speak to really the coaches at the end of the game. And only one player, the quarterback, who used to be the predominantly white. But I think that I do like the fact that a lot of black players now have been getting shine over the years. Richard Sherman showing the intelligence and the capableness of us. All of the top quarterbacks right now are black. You know, my homeboy, he's injured right now, black. Russell Wilson, black. Aaron Rodgers wants to be black so bad. Shots fired! Shots fired! No, he does. I'm just fucking. But he plays though. He does. I was taking the shot. Purrs is a Green Bay Packers fan, so I had to take my shots where I can get it. But no, shout out to the Packers. I'm actually glad to see they've been acting like Aaron Rodgers is 50 fucking years old, and he, the defense is actually good this year.
Well, Brett Favre played well into his 60s.
Yeah, fuck. So, but yeah, I still don't watch NFL live games. I don't subscribe to the NFL. I'll be starting to tweet about the NFL, but they're players and issues that I have with them, not about go watch this game and I'm excited about this. It won't be any of that.
Yeah, none of that. No dip for the Super Bowl party for me.
No, I'm definitely not doing any Super Bowl parties. All right, so music reviews. This has nothing to do with the music review. I don't even want to jump into music reviews all crazy about this. This is what I do want to talk about. Rihanna has been named the world's richest female musician by Forbes. Now, I want to, first of all, a round of applause, everyone in the crowd. Thank you. Shout out to Queen Rihanna. I'm excited to hear that news. Couple questions, though. Damn. For one, Rihanna, you are definitely missed. All of the women everyone's been jacking your style. Everyone's been jacking you. It's not even close. Like, new artists I never even see on YouTube. They're acting like you. They're walking like you. They're trying to sing like you. Their videos are looking like yours. Please hurry up and come back. Secondly, for you to be the richest female artist in the world and you haven't put out an album in over 3 years is fucking mind-boggling to me.
She been putting out that fire-ass makeup, though.
She has. What's that? Fendi? Is that what they call it? Fenty. Which is...
Oh my gosh, the lipstick.
That she was worth more than Beyonce. They didn't believe me when
yeah.
she said that.
Yeah.
Beyonce and Jay-Z's...
net worth together.
They're accumulated.
They're a
that
billion.
way.
They're over
right.
a billion.
But no, she's the richest female musician.
Almost by herself.
That's official.
All right. Ooh, let's see what else we got to talk about. Just a quick couple shout outs. Instead of doing a music review this time, because we got some other stuff to talk about, I do want to shout out albums that I've listened to and I've heard that I've been fucking with. So, for one, Sir, shout out to you. You have a fire album. Congratulations. He signed a TDE, R&B singer. If y'all don't know what he looks like, he has like hair. He looks like he's Lloyd's older brother or something. If I had to put it, I don't know how to explain that, but he is fire. Shout out to your project. Summer Walker's project, also very fire. Oh, Sir's project is called Chasing Summer. Ironic because he's also chasing Summer Walker. She just
I
broke.
thought they just got.
She just broke up with some dude as well.
And then
No, it's Lenny on the beat. She just broke up with Lenny on the beat. You know, artists, producers, y'all niggas think y'all slick. Producers always be trying to fuck the R&B girl before they get up and really get on. I got the fire beats. Listen. We can work on something together. I ain't really even trying to charge you all like that. We just hang out, chill vibes. I get it, my niggas. I get it. But yeah, shout out to that Chris Brown's Indigo. You've done it again.
Yeah.
You continue to be fire, sir.
Yeah.
You are the Michael Jackson of our generation.
I'm not gonna go that far.
I know. I get it. Niggas, when I say that, they be, I can't believe you say that. I'm not. Of our generation, he can't. Matter of fact, I'll even argue one better, that this nigga has more hits currently than Michael Jackson would be able to have in this climate if he was still around. And he'll probably end up having more hits than Michael Jackson had in his career. And he'll end up having more hits than Michael Jackson, more number one songs than Michael Jackson had. No, I'm just saying. When it's all said and done, that's what I believe. I'm just saying. That's my belief. I know. I'm not. Listen, but I just want to shout you out. That is a dope album you put out. It's a ton of songs.
I'm just not gonna go all the way around the block with him.
That's cool.
All that extra shit. But
That's
the
cool.
album was fire.
Nicki Minaj retiring and then unretiring. She's kind of like back in it again. I don't know what to say. Listen, I love you, Queen. You were fire. I know. I get it. Listen, I love you, but he did an album. Like, he made niggas really believe. If you're gonna say you retire, Nicki, you gotta make us believe. You gotta do the Fade to Pink album. You gotta fucking, you gotta start having like, you gotta end all your beefs.
You gotta go on TV and be like, whoever sold the most albums. If she sold more albums than me, then I'ma retire. But if I sell more albums than her, then she gotta retire.
No, look, like you had to really make me believe that shit. And I do think there is a moment though, if I'm being real.
The Battle of the Broken Jaws.
There is a moment, if I'm being real, that when I thought about you not being in the game, I was upset and I was sad. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I do appreciate what you do. I think you're fine.
But it was a ploy. It was a red herring.
I get that. No, I get that. But I also think that it's a lot of pressure on you now. Megan Stallion's out. She's got that tick. No, I'm just talking about females with that tick. I'm not judging their rapping ability. We won't go there, because I'm not going there. But City Girls. Yeah, they also are trash too. City Girls are trash. I'm sorry, y'all are trash. Y'all can't rap. Megan Thee Stallion, I actually don't. I don't care for you rapping as well. But I'm going to give you some time to grow. You're a new artist. Everyone can't come out just being fire.
So the songs are catchy,
but they are catchy. So I just want to see if you can grow into rapping. And I'm leaving out a bunch. There's what's my one homegirl who's like conscious? Rhapsody, which Nicki, you're not in the same lane as her, but I do believe there's a lot of women now who are in that Nicki Minaj. They went to that college. They've graduated from that college, and they're adding a little bit of Trina or a little bit of Lil' Kim in, which, Nicki, you grabbed a lot of Lil' Kim, so that's not a problem. But they're grabbing some Trina, some Shauna. There's another one from the South that raps real aggressive. She reminds me of Shauna when she first came out. But anyway, I did not believe that you were going to retire, and I'm glad that you're not. But I do think there's some pressure on the album to be fired. Meek Mill, no longer on probation. Shout out King Mill. Yeah,
Congratulations.
And I think it's all perspective. There's people who looked at Meek Mill and was like, oh, he keep fucking up and blah, blah, blah. And then there's people like us that knew he shouldn't never been on probation, and we have a better perspective on it. And I'm just happy to see that all of that bullshit's over, that crooked cop, all of that shit is over with. Throwbacks to... Go back to... One of our favorite segments on the show. And we're going to let you actually participate as well, D.Y. I want you to just think of a movie while we're doing our picks of something that you would recommend somebody else go see, some of you enjoy. That's a throwback. A throwback. Not something that was like 3 years old. Okay. Ladies first. So go ahead, Queen. What is yours?
So my throwback to go back to. It's in the Stephen King category.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. It's Needful Things.
All right.
If you have not
Stephen King's
seen
awesome.
this movie or read the book, because the book is amazing.
I've not done either, so.
I would give the book a read. I would give the movie a watch, but it's definitely a great throwback. The character who is revealed to be the devil. It hails from no other place than Akron, Ohio.
Oh, that's it. That's all I needed to hear. I'm definitely gonna watch that now.
Yeah, man. He's from Akron.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. And Stephen King is dope. He's definitely one of the authors that, as a kid, I remember reading some of his shit and really being like, yo. And then when he came out with The Stand, I was a kid, baby, like kid.
Oh my gosh.
That shit terrified me. So
it's terrifying. It's a terrifying read.
Okay, well that was yours. Mine, I never thought that I would say out loud, even before I'm on, that this is one of my favorite movies. But this was one of my favorite movies.
Wait. Can you do the hum part? Can we do the hum part before you announce it?
No, we're not going to do the hum part before I announce it.
But
But this movie actually, my sister, who's 6 years older than me, my mom had got this movie for her, and we watched it, and I was like, yo, I've always wanted to have superpowers. Like, I always thought, and if I could pick a power, it was definitely going to be telekinesis. I wanted to be able to move shit with my hands. Because I felt like if I could move stuff with my hands, I could fly. People want to fly, guess what? I can move me in the air. I'm flying now. Niggas. Anyway, shout out to Matilda, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Such a good movie.
It is a good movie. You know what I'm saying?
Little Bitty Pretty One. Love that song.
And then the teacher, I wanted to knock her off too. Mrs. Honey, I can't remember.
Miss Honey.
Yeah, Miss Honey. Yeah. And then Evil Eyes Miss Trunchbull. Oh, she was mean as hell.
Did you see? Oh, and you know what? Just a quick.
And then the black girl that was her friend with the geek, with the lizard.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh
so
man,
if you guys haven't seen, it's a good YouTube video to watch. Is the reunion of Matilda, and they all get together and they like kind of reenact parts of the scenes.
Okay.
And it's such a good video.
I'm tempted to see that just because I'm that much of a fan of the movie. But let me tell you something about that. I hate when they come back and I get to see them now, because it ruins the ending where Matilda and Miss Honey are living together still.
Miss Honey's there.
Yeah.
They're all there.
But I mean, they're still in college. Like,
literally
Matilda's in college now.
in the...
And she still has powers. And Miss Trunchbull, who had been...
Matilda in my life.
Stop it. You've never seen Matilda?
I mean, you were at the age that you would not have watched it then. You would have been like,
definitely-
I'm really out in the streets, bro.
I've definitely watched it.
I was definitely not like, at all out in the streets. Okay, what is yours, bro?
My favorite movie?
Just to give us a throwback.
Juice. Tupac.
Juice is a good throwback.
Okay, I can't be mad at that. I can't.
Juice is a good throwback.
That is definitely a good throwback to go back to. You ain't got the juice. I got the juice now. You gotta tell that nigga Bishop. So flicks and shows. Got a couple of. I'm gonna run through these. A lot of news here with flicks and shows, stuff that I can recommend. But unfortunately, I have a lot of shows that are coming to the end, and I just want to shout y'all out because I don't get the chance to do that. I'm gonna make sure I get some nice Boys to Men, End of the Road music later on. But Blacklist returned after almost being canceled. I'm excited about that season.
Blacklist almost got blacklisted.
Yes, and we all voted on Twitter. We all signed the petition.
No, don't say we all.
No.
All of those who signed.
No, I mean we all as in core dedicated day one Blacklist supporters.
Was not there.
Which is us. We know who I'm talking to right now.
Well, it ain't me.
It's a different sauce.
Anthony Anderson in there?
No, not at all. That's Blackish. Which I would also throw all of the fucking petitions in the world if they tried to do something.
Great show.
Okay, but Blacklist is back. Snowfall season 3. People are telling me this is the final season of Snowfall.
I was wondering how far they were going to be able to go with Franklin.
But I've not watched it at all yet.
It's the last one.
I will let y'all know. You've watched it and enjoyed it? I haven't seen it yet. I've not seen a single episode yet. I will let y'all know. I'm watching some other shit right now.
Right.
But I'll let y'all know.
So, speaking of definitely final seasons, Supernatural.
Okay, listen.
Final season.
Listen.
Coming out.
Listen.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with
No.
Sam and Dean.
Wait. Time out.
Castiel.
Time the fuck out, Purrs. Now, I know that we're doing this together.
God.
And I know that I call
AKA
you
Chuck.
my co-host. But if you ever motherfucking disrespect me in front of the audience like that, how would you do that? You knew Supernatural. I was trying to lead up to that. You can't just go in with Supernatural
I went in.
after years of greatness. Dean and Sam, raised in America. You're just gonna come in there just no KY, no soft music, no wine, no champagne, just throwing this shit in there all willy-nilly.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
Yep. Final season. Chuck's pissed.
Yeah, so
Zombies are out.
yes, final season of Supernatural. I am definitely
Major battle scene.
Definitely.
Who is caught up?
Sad about that. I'm definitely sad about that.
I'm excited.
I mean,
I'm not excited that it's the final season.
You just excited you could say that you're caught up.
But I'm excited. No, I'm excited. You know what though? There was just they fought every monster. You know what I'm saying?
No. Is the Simpsons still on? Yes. Is niggas wanting to see the Simpsons go off? No. So
yeah, but there's still reruns.
And now here's my only thing. If the actors say I'm done and I'm cool, which they may have said, hey,
the Rougarou.
If they say, hey, if they do decide to cancel this, we're good. We're in our 30s now. We were 19 when we started it, or 15, 17 when we started it. We're in our 30s now. So I get it. But unless they want to end it,
they were in Scooby-Doo.
They were in fucking Scooby-Doo.
They were in
It's time to
Scooby-Doo.
end Supernatural.
Why?
You sound like a whole hater back there.
Why do we have no? Donald Trump is the president.
Darkness got released. The apocalypse happened.
No. I'm just saying you could have did something with. That's one of those good quirky episodes they could have did. They could definitely do something with the trickster. Oh, whatever. I'll tell you this.
They've definitely done a lot with the trickster.
But listen, I'll tell you this. Every episode of this season so far, both episodes of this season so far has been fucking left me wanting of the new season.
You have the new season hasn't started yet.
Yes, it has.
You have.
I'm on episode 2 right now.
Oh well, then
yeah.
I know what we'll be doing. Anyway.
So that's great. Also, my condolences to How to Get Away with Murder, which will be ending. Empire, which will be ending, which I felt like it's been time for Empire to end. And unfortunately, Power. This is the last season of Power as well.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Yep.
And I'm super, super, super sad about that.
Don't watch any of those.
I just like Black excellence to continue forever.
There ain't no too much more you can do with it.
Start with the kids then. He about to be in a dope gang. Let me see about him.
Why does everybody have to grow up and be in college?
I don't know.
Miss Honey. Why does it have to continue?
It has to continue.
Why?
Okay. Good news though. Speaking of, and I still have to check out the All in the Family and the Jeffersons remake with Jamie Foxx. I haven't been hearing much about that. I'm thinking that probably was canceled.
It was a live TV show.
I know, but I'm not hearing much about it, so I'm thinking
It was a
one-time thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I will watch those episodes because I want to kind of see what it was hitting for. I watched a part of it and it seemed okay. Boondock season 5. Yes, it is true. It is true. No. Yes, guys, you guys can roar. We're cool with that. Thank you. No, it is back. It's true. Aaron Magruder this time, not like in season 4 when it was done by somebody else. And I'm not gonna lie, at the time I was just so desperate for Boondocks episodes. I took them.
I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
I did not. I was Aaron Magruder or not.
And I follow him on Twitter. And I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter. But I follow Aaron Magruder, and I like what he did. So, but I did, I did watch it.
The Boondocks theme song used to be my ringtone.
Listen, I'm so excited for this.
I rock with it.
But the fact that it's going to be on HBO lets me know we're going to get all of the fuck shit. And there's so much shit to talk about. I'm excited. Oh, man. John Wick 3 Parabellum. Now, not finished watching I have finished watching this movie. This was a great movie. Not going to lie to y'all. Very good. It's a bunch of stuff I missed. I'm going to have to go back in and give y'all a fair review. I know there's going to be a part 4. I love the fact that Halle Berry survived throughout the movie. I'm super excited about Parabellum. I mean about the John Wick series. That's
And her
one.
dogs made it. Yay.
And that her dogs were the shit in that movie too. You ever seen the dogs in Call of Duty? Bro, you gotta check out John Wick.
Monstrositas. Makes me want to
Uh,
buy a German Shepherd today.
John Wick 3.
some other shit I want to talk about. Oh, well, the dogs in the movie, how dope they were. Yeah. I'll skip over the other movies. I don't really care about that. I'll let y'all know if I'm going to watch Terminator. Probably not going to watch Terminator. Child's Play. Have no interest in watching that. With garbage.
Rainbow Last Blood. Still on the fence about that.
Brightburn. Don't even remember what that's about. But when I
Great
find
movie. It was like basically if Superman were to have landed here and been evil.
Gemini Man. When I watch Gemini Man, I'm gonna make sure I give y'all the scoop on that.
I watched it.
Okay. Don't tell me. I don't even want to know your opinion on it yet. All right. Resurrect One Time, and we have a new person for what?
Resurrect One.
Resurrect One. Now, if y'all are not familiar with Resurrect One is at home, we will have 3 artists that are cold as ice. And we will say we're going to bring them back right now. They will be lit. They will be popping. They will have good music out. They'll be able to collab with the artists that are presently out. And you only can pick one. Other 2 will remain cold as ice. So the first, I'm going to lead this off. And here are our choices. We're going to change it up this time since we have a guest on. I'm going to ask both DWAT and Miss Pursley before I give my answer. If y'all can say y'all's answer at the same time so we'll know that answers are different. Okay? So,
Our options are.
are you ready? Option number 1, Black Rob. Option, and if you guys are at home and you need to Google Black Rob, Like Whoa is where you'd start off. Okay. Trinidad James. Not going too far long ago, about 2015. But Papa Molly, I'm Sweating. He had all the celebrities doing it. He actually had another song that I liked on that project. And it was, I couldn't believe I liked another song by him, but I did. So we have Trinidad James. And number 3, we have Sean Kingston. Now, the rules have been explained. You guys know your artist.
John Kingston.
Black Rob.
They didn't play by the rules. I'll give myself a drum roll. I'm going to go with Black Rob as well.
So, you said for the music, doing music now.
Yeah, I know.
Black Rob's music wouldn't fit with the music that's going on.
I know, but that's part of Resurrect One. As you come back, you'll be able to do and fit. Your music will fit magically with the Resurrect One powers.
Well,
So you got to. Oh, I didn't know.
No, you didn't. You just.
Oh, you thought you were trying to guess whose music? That's why he said that's
whose
easy.
music. I
What
was thinking
fit?
you saying
You
music
get to
would
resurrect
fit-
one
would
and
fit
make them
with
relevant.
Oh, yeah,
today's
no.
music. That's what I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking.
nah. So would you change your answer then?
Who would you pick then?
I don't know. Sean Kingston still.
Sean Kingston still.
Alright.
All right. So we have no votes for Trinidad James, which does not shock me, and 2 for Black Rob, 1 for Sean Kingston. And it's time for the message.
Message.
The message is one of my favorite segments of the show. And this episode is called Perspective. But perspective, usually, when we're talking about perspective, we're talking about... I like that. Thank you. We're talking about things that we're giving a perspective on. This versus that. President versus figurehead. Government completely broken versus needs work. Government. China versus Hong Kong. Saying the N-word, not saying the N-word. All things that we can give you perspective on. Police shootings, we all can have different perspectives based on our history and our background. I actually didn't mean just that perspective for my message. I meant our perspective on ourselves. I wanted to basically talk about that because a lot of times the selves that we see as ourselves are things that we create in our head to make us be able to just be able to get through life, because life is fucked up. And if you have a shitty outlook on your own self, you might not want to always be in life. So I always want people in life. So I understand us being able to have I'll say a false sense awareness of self, which is absolutely natural because there are 3 selves. There's the self that you see within you, there's a self that the world sees, and there's a self that you would like the world to see. And I like to believe we're a combination of all three of those. But I think it's important for us to have perspective on ourselves, because only without having a different or a clear perspective on yourself can you ever grow. Because if you feel like everything's the same with you, you'll end up being the same person. And no one wants that.
Perspective.
This might be something that you listen to on YouTube.
This might be something that you listen to while you're taking a shower.
This might be something that you check out on peoples330.com.
This might be something that you're listening to on YouTube.
This might be going straight to the top.
Or?
This might be going nowhere.
Nowhere.
The podcast. By any motherfucking means. Okay. I'm back. We're gonna tap in. Yo, Eli, I really feel like we could just come in here and hit play. Cause we got a lot to prove and I got a lot to say. Peoples 330.
We ready for the world. Just praying, the plan is ready. Pastel paint, brushes. See, they got my canvas ready. Mind, body, and soul in tune. So my hand is steady. We gon' talk about this crown I hold. Goddamn, it's heavy. Please excuse my saying, using the Lord's name in vain. But our days are filled with stress, and our nights are sold with pain. Smoking gas wasn't enough, so we sparking up propane. I'm so high I could park a plane. This 130 in my lane.